President Joe Biden said Sunday that the U.S. shall respond after 3 American troops were killed and dozens more injured in an overnight drone strike in northeast Jordan near the Syrian border. Biden blaming Iran-backed militias for the first U.S. fatalities after months of strikes by such groups against American forces across the Middle East since the start of the Israel-Hamas war. Joining us live to further explain is retired U.S. Army Colonel Joe Buccino. Joe, good morning to you. Many people wondering, how did we even get to this point?
Well, we've been on this tit for tat, this kind of back and forth with these Shia groups. These are these proxy groups that Iran has subcontracted the fighting off to. You know, we've been on this low-grade war with Iran, the United States and Iran, since really the end of October. And Iran is subcontracted the fighting off to these Shia proxy groups. The problem we're having, it's like a game of checkers where nobody can ever win. So the Shia groups would take a pop shot here at our bases, at our troops. We would hit one of their facilities, one of their warehouses in Iraq and Syria, and they would continue, you know, because Iran doesn't really care about these groups or care about their facilities. I predicted this tragically. I predicted this months ago. And in fact, on December 6th, I had an op-ed. The title was, "To Protect American Troops, the U.S. Must Strike Inside of Iran." I was heavily criticized at the time, and now Washington, D.C. has come around to my way of thinking.
So, Joe, many people wanting to know, the president saying they will retaliate. What does that retaliation look like, and when could that happen?
It's going to have to be against Iran, and it's going to have to be in the next 50 hours. So in the president's statement, he called out Iran directly, which we've not seen before since these back and forth exchanges. He's going to have to fire. He's going to have to be a muscular response. U.S. Central Command long ago submitted targets inside of Iran, Iranian bases inside of Iran. You've also got, you know, one level down from that, you've got Iranian fast boats or Iranian vessels, Iranian naval vessels in the Persian Gulf. And then one level down from that, you've got Iranian oil embargoes, crushing Iranian oil facilities. And so, you know, you've got a range of targets there. And if you don't do it within 72 hours, you really lose the deterrent effect. You've got to strike pretty quickly here to send the kind of message we're going to send. So I would say, you know, by this time Wednesday morning, the strike will go into one of those targets I just mentioned.
Wow, Joe Buccino, we always appreciate your perspective and insight. Is there anything else you'd like to add about this as we are on the edge of our seats watching all of this unfold?
Yeah, and we're on razor's edge in the region. I think that, you know, it's unfortunate we've gotten this far. Obviously, everybody's thoughts and prayers are with these soldiers' families and their battle buddies. And, you know, this picture is going to get worse before it gets worse. There's about 36 soldiers injured. It's unfortunate we got this far. We should have had a muscular response months ago. I think the issue is just being so risk averse here that we backed ourselves into the kind of strike we should have taken all the way back in November.
Joe, thank you so much for explaining all of this for the viewers and putting things into perspective. And we will be keeping a close eye. As you say, by Wednesday, those retaliatory strikes could happen. Thank you so much for joining us, Joe. You enjoy the rest of your day.
You too, and thanks for having me.